Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 71. I'm Brad, and today we have some good things on the docket for today. Yesterday we started working on attract mode, and if you joined us way back, we did have attract mode in place, but that was through the use of a plugin that actually played a screen capture recorded video. The problem with that was that only played on a Windows machine, and we're actually building our arcade cabinet on a Linux machine. So the extension and the included files were unusable with the way we were trying to do things. But I since then, specifically yesterday, was inspired, just was hit with a little bit of inspiration. And in my head, I kind of solved the issue of trying to do attract mode and how we would do it. And so I took that idea and ran with it, and it played out really nicely. So our game basically right now has attract mode, and there are only a few minor updates I need to make. I will pull up our worksheet so we can see exactly what it is that needs to be updated, and here it is. We want to make, here's our to-do list right here. We want to make sure that when attract mode starts, we don't overwrite the credits that are already in the cabinet. If there are 0 credits, we have to kind of hand off fake credits so that the game knows exactly how to handle attract mode. We also want to make sure that the player can't control the ship while we're in attract mode, because right now the player can, because we're only simulating key presses. So I've come up with a workaround for this, and of course, you know, the buttons are mapped to specific keys, and the keys need to be pressed in order for GameMaker to know or simulated that they have been pressed in order for GameMaker to control the ship on its own. So the problem with that is because those buttons have to be pressed, we have to leave the controls enabled. Well, I came up with a workaround for this, which is to disable the controls that are mapped to the buttons and enable a few other controls that are not going to be mapped to anything. So technically we have 7 buttons. We have up, down, left, right, and the 3 fire buttons. One fires the Vulcan cannon, one fires the shotgun, and one fires the katana blade. So I just have to come up with duplicate keys for all of those and disable the regular keys. And that way the player won't be able to control the ship or any of the firing during attract mode, but we still have to leave insert coin enabled. The start button we will make sure is also enabled. So I think that's it. So we just got to make sure the start and insert coin buttons are enabled. Let's see, if somebody inserts a coin, or we're also going to say or runs out of lives. If let's say if during attract mode user inserts coin or ship runs out of lives, we got to make sure we reset all the necessary variables, and then we have to add messaging to attract mode, which is press start or insert coin if no coin has been inserted, or if no credit is registered. So, and then the last piece here, I was going to have a variable that's global store credits, or let's say stored credits. We'll swap with global.credits during attract mode, and back when attract mode ends. Cool. So those are the few things that I need to add I think I'm going to add the credits right now, so let me try doing that. And I'm going to do that mainly in the controllers, which are under objects, controllers, persistent controller. And we'll create another variable here, global.stored credits. This will never get populated except for attract mode. Cool. And so stored credits is correct. Now we're to set those. We need to make sure if we are getting out of attract mode that global.credits equals global.stored credits. And if we are going into attract mode, we will update the base room controller for credits to be let's say global.stored credits equals global.credits, and then credits equals 1 is fine because we're just overwriting that variable. And the other thing is I would like to potentially give a varying amount of lives, but I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, so we'll have to figure that out. That's not critically important right now. I think we have got our credits item checked off the list, so I'm just going to strike through that. So let's just verify that's working before I start working on anything else. And right now we're just waiting for compile to finish. While that's working, I'm going to go ahead and start reviewing what I added for controls so that the player can't control the ship while we're in attract mode. Okay, so we did not, for some reason, go straight into attract mode. Let me make sure our files still exist. I'm pretty sure that we modified some disabling of controls at the end of yesterday's stream, which is why we don't see, which is why the player wasn't being controlled at all. So, yep, our files are still here. This is the key logging that we needed to read that was in place, so we're good there. I think what we have to do is just proceed forward and make sure that we just add these all in place, and then once we've updated everything properly, then retry to enable. But I think I can force a start correctly though. Let me see if I can do that. So I think that's going to be inside of the base controller, so let me get that. That is not what I clicked on. Script, update controls. Let's try enable and see what that nets us. So once again, nothing is being controlled. Alright, let's try this again. I don't necessarily think that will do the trick, but we'll see. Whoops, I accidentally just took it straight through to the game. And I think the way that I just did that, it will have deleted attract mode for level 1. So I think I'm going to have a key that turns on attract mode reading. And I think I will add that in right now, mainly because I just overwrote attract mode for level 1. By that simple mistake that I just did right there. C in my mind is for copy. So I will check to see if this has been pressed at any time. And I will set that to false. So I've got a tracked mode set to false here in the step event. Okay, so this will toggle attract mode, and I think that's what we want by default. And I got to make sure attract mode isn't automatically set. That's probably going to be in the base controller. I think I may have it being set automatically. I do. Look at this. Let me do a search for that. I got to see where it's all used at. Here we go. Okay, so I think I'm controlling something incorrectly here. Hey.
Are you streaming?
Yep.
I got 10 scoops of ice cream for $14.
Okay, so I think I'm incorrectly controlling something here. So I think I'm incorrectly controlling. Let me look at the base controller. Yeah, I need to set this to true and not the other piece. So attract mode is not necessary to set to true, but this is what I'm trying to set to true here. And I do not want to keylogger, cool. So I will not set it here. Go back to persistent controller, step event. Okay, so if keylogger is turned on, that's when the writing happens. And technically we can turn it off at any point in time. But let's just stay away from that for now. So technically we can enable this the second that we're on the menu screen. Should be off by default. Let's make sure keylogger is off by default. And if we're going into here, I want to make sure it's set to false because I don't want to write and read at the same time. So I don't see where this is set by default. So I'm going to make sure it's set by default in the persistent controller, the create event here. Although I'm surprised Get Game Defaults doesn't have it because I didn't see it show up when I did the search, but I'll verify that.
Is a crime, Brad.
keylogger. Not in here. Okay, perfect. Well, let's just add it in. So it'll be false by default. Then we'll set it to true by toggling it. And make sure it's writing. So we'll do a playthrough after toggling it. Okay. Okay, so that should give us enough to work off of. Now here's our script, which got generated, so that should be in a really good place. There will be no toggling of that at the moment. In fact, I think I will remove the ability to toggle for now. And we'll add that back in later, but then we'll just make sure everything plays through nicely. Come on, where are we at? All right. So we remove the ability to toggle by just doing this. So that accident should never happen again, where I accidentally just go right in game and then it doesn't work. So we're going to see if attract mode works now based on what I just added. Now, we were having problems getting it to work a little bit ago. I think there are just some enabling or disabling of controls that need to happen. So we'll just verify that if it doesn't work again.
Skycurser. Mission on.
I'm going to reset this one and try to get it to activate level 1.
Skycurser. Mission on.
There we go.
Death at dusk.
No. I think I'm going to press forward right now, just updating the controls to be disabled. Mainly because I know that whenever I finish this, everything will work as expected. I was in the middle of updating all the controls last night, and I ended the stream, and I'm pretty sure that one of the changes that I made is preventing the keylogger from working right now. So I think we just have to I think I know what's doing it, but I'll verify that in just a minute. So I've got disable here. Cool. Okay. So I think the disabling was preventing everything from running as it should. And let me go update one more piece of updating controls, the script, which would be on disable. Don't disable all of these. And what we can do is pass in an extra parameter into this script if we want to disable those, but we'll do that later. Oh, and I am realizing that I have just updated Skycurser Gen to disable. So let me address that real quick. Okay. Try again. You like that, huh?
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go.
Last but not least, in order to test this before I start updating everything, I may have modified the way that that works, so let's make sure we didn't. Track mode is false there, and to get into okay, so we're setting the track mode to true by default. Pretty sure we're making it to that reader script.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Okay, so let's look at our timers. Yeah, they're all found. That's good. do this right here. So the readers should be working as long as the controls are enabled, and we're still trying to activate that right now.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death. Go to dusk. Skycurser. Mission 1. Death. Go to dusk.
Trying to get it to pick level 1 on attract mode. Although I don't know why that would matter, but I'm just seeing if level 1 for some reason allows the controls to be enabled.
Mission 1.
Because even though it says mission 1, it's actually mission 2. Just pick mission 1.
Skycurser. Mission
There it goes.
Death at dusk.
Still no controls, okay. Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, that's the problem right there. It's trying to use all of key 2s, and I don't. All of my keys, as I was saying, I was updating last night, and I had the initial key set right here, but since everything should go through that second key, so the player can't control Skycurser in attract mode, I started updating all the keys. So, and that's why you don't want to stop something in the middle, especially when it's late at night and you have to pick it up the next day. Had I had enough sleep, I probably would have remembered that, but that's the reason why it seems to not be working right now, even though it is hitting the attract mode reader file. So, there is one thing I want to do that I know. I do want to disable controls right here, and that should disable everything except for the second set of keys. And right here, I do want to disable everything and pass in another variable, which will be just set to true here. I'm going to go update that script, which hasn't been updated in general, overarching how it works for a long time. So here's our toggle. We'll give it a default of false, and then give it an option to be overwritten. Same thing right here. This is the same toggle. Cool. The main reason why we want to make sure those keys are disabled after leaving a tracked mode is that we want to make sure that the game isn't still trying to control the input of anything when it goes back to the menu, as I have seen it do without disabling. It can control the movement of the ship, it can control the movement of the cursor on the menu screen, but if we disable everything, it just kills everything at once. And then there was one more place on the script insert coin menu. So basically kill everything, then re-enable everything, and that should handle it as far as that's concerned. Now, let's go back and make sure all of our keys that are doing certain things are updated throughout the game. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a tedious process, which is why I put it off till today so I could get started on it today. Okay, we don't need to touch any of this. Track mode helper. These are all, should all be left alone. Helper and reader. Okay, now the Skycurser pointer. Leave that alone. What is the mini blast? This was unnecessary altogether because all these values are the exact same. And in fact, I think I'll just update that right now. Remove that altogether. This is probably going to be important right here. Yeah. Okay, I like the way that is. These are the critical pieces right here for sure. This is what controls Skycurser in general. Got a question about script update controls. Yeah, keys disabled equals true. So basically, enclose that. This will be left 2. And let's see that I've got an extra OR statement here. Okay, so that's pretty good. I see a couple of other updates to be made in this file. I know this was going to be the file that was going to be the hardest one to update, the most tedious, because I got to get it exactly right. That is tough right there, man. I'm going to come back to that one. That one is incredibly difficult. I'm going to make these false statements a little bit easier to read. That ain't gonna work. Because this has to be inside. Okay, so we're getting close. So this is already enclosed in parentheses. But I need to add one more set to enclose the keys disable. There we go. I must be missing something here. Looks like I forgot to add a parentheses. Cool. Katana blade. So this needs a set of parentheses. Okay, so this one as well needs another set of parentheses. So key 2 here, key 2 here, and key 2 here. We go key 2s all the way across the board here. Boom. Okay. So that is golden, and we've got one more piece up here which looked really tricky when I was first looking at it. I think that's all good. here's the difficult one that we have to update. Let's focus on these one at a time here. I think this will do it. Hello. Cool, that should do that piece. And same thing for here. I think that'll do it. Wow, that was crazy, and I'm not 100% sure I got it all right. I'm gonna keep reading here, see if there's anything else that I think needs updated. Did I get this one? Yeah, I got that one. I think that's it. The other thing I wanted to check is key shotgun, because I think there's a couple of places that that's going to need, and maybe key katana. Okay, we don't need script update controls at all. I'm not sure what helper any button is off the top of my head. Ah, that's for operator menu. Track mode helper and reader we don't want. These mentions in object Skycurser should all be taken care of. I don't know what this one is. Come on. Ah, it's for continue. And there's no need to use it there. Okay, last but not least. Everything was fine there. I guess I'll check one more thing. Global.keyfire. Okay, the big moment of truth. Everything's been updated to theoretically handle attract mode and prevent the user from controlling anything while attract mode is happening. Got a bug. Okay, so I've actually got to update script update controls. So we'll just handle it like this. Really easy update. Done. Try again. Game Maker.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Go to dark.
That's interesting. He's not going up or down, left or right.
Mission 1.
Ooh, went straight to attract mode again. That was very interesting. No, it just went straight into the game because I saw it had credits ×4. So it should have kicked the user back to should have kicked the user back to menu, and I think it did. So let's just leave that alone for a minute, but the controls of moving up and down were hampered, I could tell. So let me look at that. I also didn't try to control the player, but I think that would have already been taken care of. I guess I should make sure everything is disabled going into attract mode. So if I enable everything, that should enable key 2s, all the key 2s, which I think are already enabled up to this point. I do want to, then I disable everything. That should leave only the key 2s available. And then Skycurser gen script, we do need to make sure this is in place now, because this could be overwriting. There we go. So it's having some sort of issue on shooting the shotgun, apparently. The auto shot is not getting set to true properly. And this is a problem, where it's just cutting straight over to the game. We could just try to disable everything right here and not even set anything to enable. Let's try that. The track mode should be set to true here. I'm not sure why it's bouncing out of there. And it should be set to true. Yeah. Should be set to true in here. But it's not. Where is PC ref with track mode set to true at? Is the track mode counter getting reset to 0? There we go. And we got to address the issue where it's having problems switching back and forth between shotgun and Vulcan cannon, and that's a Skycurser object issue. I want to know what this does. think the problem is basically right here, and I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, I think that might have fixed it. I had a few misplaced parentheses. Let's see if that fixed it.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Go to task.
Seems like it's still having a little bit of trouble here. It's not even firing the Vulcan cannon. So, gotta go look at that code real quick. Vulcan. And I think the same problem might be in a couple of other places. Although the katana blade does seem to be working, I'm just going to make sure I've got my or statements surrounded by parentheses. This right here might need to be removed. Alright, looks a little better that time.
Mission 1. Down to task.
Yeah, I'm going to make one update to this real quick. Specifically the shotgun. Yeah. Cool. Let's try it again.
Mission 1. Down to task.
Yes. Now the Vulcan cannon still is not firing like it should be. But the shotgun is firing. That's a good step forward.
Mission 1.
And we automatically switch right over to the game. So we still have that bug. Why is the Vulcan cannon not firing?